Hello everybody, what to do? Bring you guys part 2 of the Jump Cancel Fast Fall guide. And in this one, we're going to talk about Jump Cancel Fast Fall nair, incorporating the nair into the tech. But before we get into that real quick, a bit of information on Jump Cancel Fast Fall, because some people are still struggling to do it. Like, it looks like you're doing it fast, like the input, and yet you're still getting a soft landing. Here's the reason why. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump, right? Initiating jump here. Now I'm gonna hold down. Now I'm gonna start floating. So you're gonna hear me slide my thumb off the X button. See, that's me sliding my thumb. So I'm not holding X anymore. I am still holding down. And now you see the falling animation. And then the next frame, the sparkle. That lets me know that I am fast falling, right? Now, you have 2 frames to let go of the jump button when you float, okay? 2 frames. If you let it go later than 2 frames, you're gonna get the soft landing. That's why. So it's a pretty tight window. That's why I told you guys, do it very slowly. Like, slow down the speed and then work your way up to regular speed. So that may seem a bit discouraging, but it's all about building a rhythm, a flow, and muscle memory. For some people that can already do this, just do ground float nairs, like dashing ground float nairs, and even do it in place like that. Even though that's a bit more technical, but I practice this like religiously, so it's whatever. But yeah, for those that can do that, Jump Cancel Fast Fall nair, it's pretty much the same flow, right? It's just building up the muscle memory, the rhythm in your fingers. And you'll be able to get Jump Cancel Fast Fall like it's nothing. Like, you see top JCFF players doing that like there's no tomorrow. So yeah, the window is tight, but you can get it down. Don't let that scare you. Okay, now let's talk about the uses of this. Alright, let's talk about the use of this tech. This tech, you're mainly going to be using it when you're up close to the opponent. Like, if you have control, they're on shield, or you're trying to go for mix-ups. Doing that's really good. Now, if you land this on shield, you're like super safe, okay? You're -2. Now, to point a picture on how good that is, I believe the fastest up B out of shield with a hitbox is Game & Watch with frame 3. You can block that, right? Because Game & Watch has 2 frames to punish you. The fastest thing he has is an up B that hits on frame 3. So if you land at the right time, you do it correctly, you'll be able to block that. That's really good. So, due to how criminal the range of this nair is, as you can see, you mainly want to be doing this type of stuff when you're close to your opponent. Doing it in neutral, like at these distances, you're not going to get anywhere. Because you can either leave yourself open to an incoming hitbox, or you could be moving into active hitboxes, especially with projectiles, or somebody has more range than you, like sword characters. You're just gonna get hit, alright? So this is not something to be doing in neutral every time, 24/7. Because if you're doing this to look fat, flashy, to look cool, fancy, show off in front of your friends on social media, a lot of people, they're not gonna care when you're doing all that stuff and at least you getting falcon punched, alright? And then you sitting there questioning your life decisions. So yeah, this is not something to be doing in neutral. This type of thing here is very situational, right? If you're gonna be doing that, you have to do it like up close, because that's when you can land stuff like that, alright? That's when you get the hits off. So if you land that on shield, you're super safe. You can also punish shield grabbing with your own grab if you land it, because your opponent has to do something that is -2 to punish you, and they're not. And if you do a grab, you can grab them before they grab you, okay? Because in this case, the hitbox of their grab will come out on frame 8, because we're including the -2 on shield, and you have a 6 frame grab. So yeah, you'll definitely beat them to the punch. And if you notice, when you hit people's shields, depending on character, they like to jump and aerial, like do a jump nair and whatnot. I'm looking at you, Palutena players. So depending on the frame data of the aerial, you can actually grab them out of their air attack. So not only can you grab them out of their grabs, the shield grabs, you can also grab them out of their air attacks. Alright, so that's pretty good. So if you want to know what you can punish, the numbers, in the description below I have the website to smash ultimate frame data with all characters. So you can learn stuff like that, and you can be really creative and become a cheeky bastard with punishing a lot of stuff that people think they can just panic to a lot out of shield. You can just quickly deny that. Alright, you're not going to be having that anymore. Alright, and depending on the character, you can also do that to a down tilt. They try to do something that requires them to drop their shield, you can frame trap into a down tilt, and that's also pretty good. Alright, so used for up close pressure. Right, when you have control of the match, you know, you can throw in that while you're doing stuff like this. You know, maybe you hit the shield with a ground float nair, and you do that, and then at times you can toss in that. All right, so you can mix and match all of that stuff to really increase your pressure. If you do that nair, you're like super safe in compared to anything that you try to do, because you do a ground float nair and you hit the shield, and then you immediately let go, you won't touch the floor right away. Ground float nair is -10 on shield, last I checked, -10. So even though this comes out faster than jumping and doing a falling nair like that out of your float, that jump cancel fast fall nair is actually safer. Right? So again, there's a time and place to do that. But if you see or know an opportunity where you can land that to start shield pressure, then you can do that. It's really good. And as I said, when you land that nair on shield and you're -2, you can counter a lot of stuff. Okay, now another use of this. We're gonna slow it down a little bit here, okay? Let's go like this. So another use of this is, if you want to use this as an approach, right? The best way to use this while approaching is if you know or sense that your opponent is going to do like a grounded option. Let's say in this case, Ganondorf, right? If I think he's going to come at me with, let's say, a dash attack or grab or running jab or running tilt, whatever, you can go towards him and you want to be like at this height. So that way, when you get close enough, he does his attack, you land on top of his head. Like that, okay? So that's another way to use it as an approach. You see your opponent come towards you and you sense that they're gonna do a grounded option. You can do that, go towards them, and then land on top of their head while they already tossed out their dash attack, their grab, you know, whatever it is. So it'll be to a point where you kind of land on top of them like that. Something like that, right? You can avoid a lot of stuff that way. Alright, so that's another way of using it. So one thing to keep in mind as well is that if you land with a jump cancel fast fall nair at low percents, you can actually get a free down tilt. The window is pretty tight though, so you have to do it like at the right height. So let's see if I can get this off. So see, that was a bit too slow. There you go. Perfecto. Now you can see right there. If you land that nair, you can get a pretty nice down tilt combo. So doing jump cancel fast fall nair within pressure, or you doing it, you know, as an approach, come through to avoid certain attacks, and then you land on top of somebody's head. If that lands, you can get a nice combo out of that. So pretty freaking good, man. Pretty good. And one more use of this is basically when jumping, right? So let me set the CPU to jump. So let's say here, one is short hopping, right? Let's slow this down. Like that. Actually, put it at this one. So let's say, like right about here, you think the opponent is going to try to jump at you. Let's say in this case, Ganon's on the ground, right? Like the opponent's on the ground, and the opponent is like jumping, like they're about to jump and hit you. If you land on top of them with a nair. Actually, no, you want to be a bit higher than that. Like, okay, like right here. So if you fall with a nair as they're about to like rise, it's on the ground. I'm gonna let go and just do a nair. See, I'm coming down with a nair. You know, see, they'll get hit. Actually, you want to be a little bit closer than that, but this is just an example. You can actually hit people out of their area attacks and probably avoid whatever area attack it is, depending on where the hitbox is, and you just land on top of them, and you get a free assault. All right, so it's basically just like if they short hop, which a short hop will be here, where Peach is at. Short hop will be here, and then you just full hop, and then you just land on top of them like that. So that's another way to approach with this. If you know, granted the situation is okay for you to do so, as I went over earlier. But that's gonna stop. So here, as they're about to jump, you just land on top of them. Alright. So this would also be good for close up close pressure. When you think somebody's gonna try to jump out of shield to a nair, when you're fishing for something, and you just go on top of them, like up here, and then you just jump cancel fastball on top of their head. Alright? Okay, here's a little exercise that you guys can try out. And this should help you position yourself. So when you're running and approaching with a jump cancel fastball nair, to position yourself, and you think the opponent's gonna come at you grounded and all that type of stuff. What I want you to do is I want you to pick Ganondorf, right? And set him to walk, right? And then put this on. Now, as you can see, Ganondorf walk speed is kind of slow, so we're walking back and forth. Use this to position yourself to do jump cancel fastballs like that. Right, so you want to practice, you know, getting to the right position, jump cancel fastball, and then move out the way to bait stuff. And you can also use this to position yourself to land a jump cancel fastball there like that. All right, so you just move back and forth and then practice landing that. And if you want to step up the speed, pick a different character with a faster walk speed, and that way you practice at that type of speed when the opponent's coming at you. So this is a good way to position yourself properly, and this will also help when if the opponent is running at you, if you're used to their run speed, so you can position yourself correctly and time when to go up to avoid whether a dash attack, a grab, whatever, and just land on top of them with a jump cancel fastball there, right? So this is the exercise that you can go and lab and practice in training mode. I recommend starting with Ganon since his walk speed is slow, and then once you're comfortable with that, pick another character who has the faster walk speed, and then just keep going up and up from there, and then just practice your positions, all right? Okay. So now you know how and when to use jump cancel fastball nair, whether it's to pressure or to snuff out attacks. Now before we end this, I'm gonna leave you guys with something else to play around with. While jump cancel fastball nair is really good, you can also jump cancel fastball there. Now one trick that you can do with this is sometimes when approaching, you might do that, right? A raw bear. For those that know what raw is, you might have heard of raw bear, raw threat, whatever. Raw just stands for reverse aerial rush, which you just turn your back and then immediately do an aerial, all right? So raw, turn around while jumping, looking the other way, and then you just do an aerial. So with that, instead of doing this and then having a fastball to land, you can do a raw jump cancel fastball there. Oh my god, that's a mouthful right there, I know. So it would look something like, something like that. I don't know if I did it correctly, but yeah, but basically what you're doing is, let me slow this down. Let me slow it down so, like. So basically you're running, right? And then you jump. And then you just do that. Alright, so at whatever height you want, you do that. Probably was a bit slow, but you get the idea. So at times, like, you know, this is good. I mean, yeah, this, you know, you approach this way, that's okay. But sometimes, depending on the character height, or if they just try to like full hop, whatever, as an approach, you can just, oh, you can't just do that. There you go. You can do that way. So that way you're at level with the opponent, and you have an easier time hitting them if they're jumping than doing this. What? Yeah, that or this. All right. This type of thing, you do this when like they're like more on ground stuff that ground approaches. And there you go. I think I covered a majority of stuff. There's probably more jump cancel flash fall uses that I didn't cover in this video, but those are pretty much the basics just to get you started. You guys can experiment and you guys probably find some more interesting ways that I didn't mention in this video here. So hopefully this video will clear up the confusion. You guys will get used to jump cancel fast falling, jump cancel fast falling nair, how to pick your spots to use it in battle, and your gameplay will improve, and you can just have fun practicing this in training mode, because I feel like Peach and Daisy are the most fun characters when you're in training mode, because they have so much stuff that you can practice, and then you can just make stuff up, mix and match. It's really freaking fun. So let me know in the comments if this is useful, because I did make a video on jump cancel fast fall a little over a year ago, and some of the information there was pretty inaccurate. So it's good to correct my mistakes now. And people have made topics on this in the past, good videos, where they were accurate with the information, and yet people still having a hard time. They were really confused about the whole concept, how to use it, and all that jazz. So hopefully this video does justice, cleared all the confusion, all of concerns, and it just opens people's eyes. You can just get right to practicing and get really good at it at a quick rate. Let me know in the comments below if this video did a good job, and if you have any questions, something that might have been confusing, or hell, even something that I missed, let me know in the comment section below. Alright, so that's it for this. Thanks for everybody for watching. Thanks to my new subscribers that I got through my recent videos, as well as my veteran as well as my veteran subscribers. You know, liking, sharing, and all that stuff. All you guys together are freaking savages, and I will see y'all in the next video. Until then, peace off.